And welcome back to my channel. My name's Misha and this is the Average Beauty channel. Look, I haven't been on YouTube for a minute, but we'll get into that. I'm going to try and not do any edits today, so this could be pure chaos because there's been a lot going on, my friends. So we're going to do a full face of relatively brand new makeup because your friend's been going through it. So I'll talk quickly about the products and then I'll tell you what's been going on. So this year I've been a lot into the Americans call it the drugstore. We don't call it a drugstore here in Australia. We call them chemists, but I'm going to call them drugstores so everybody knows what we're talking about. I do have some skincare on. I've been really liking the Rhode skincare, surprisingly enough, even though I don't really think 44 is really the market for Rhode, but my skin's been doing all right. I am very naturally very dark under my eyes, and because I've been so unwell, they're quite pronounced at the moment. So let's put some primer on. I got this primer, it's the Maybelline Fit Me primer, and I think the whole Maybelline Fit Me range is actually really solid. I have not found anything in that range that didn't sit nice or work nice. I think that Maybelline is pretty much one of the most reliable drugstore brands. This is the Luminous and Smooth. So it's a hydrating primer, so you can see it's added a little bit more, actually it's added a lot of hydration on top of that Rhode product. So it's the Luminous and Smooth, and I just realized it's actually got SPF 20 in it. So while we let that set, let's talk about what's been going on. So I am 44, and look, I don't really remember in my mental health has always been a journey for me. Let's just put that out there. But my physiological health, obviously I had weight issues my whole life, but for some reason in the last maybe 4 to 5 years, it seems to all co-occur around this major weight loss surgery I had in 2019. I started getting really unwell, and I mean, it started off with persistent urinary tract infections. And when I say persistent urinary tract infections, I was on so many antibiotics. And what I would find is that I just couldn't pass whatever UTI that was happening, or I'd pass the UTI and then they'd come straight back. And I think I was on so many antibiotics for so many years from 2019, 2020. It was very stressful. Work's been stressful for a long time for me now, but that's a whole nother story. And I gotta remember to look at the camera. I feel like I'm just having a conversation with my friends, and sometimes I just look away. But yeah, just a lot of stress, and probably a lot of stress over, because of mental health and changes in mental health medication, mental health treatments, etc. So I felt like I'd sort of started to turn, oh my God, my neighbor is mowing their lawn, so if that's really loud, I apologize. But I felt like I started to turn the corner with the urinary tract infections about 2 years ago. And then last year, in around February, I started getting a rash all over my body. Just quickly, everybody's been raving around this NYX Bear With Me concealer serum, so I'm gonna try some of that today, and I might have picked, I got the wrong brush. And yeah, look, I'm actually gonna do full glam. I'm not actually going anywhere today, but I have put I've put way too much on. That is thick. Oof. Okay. So, okay, we're gonna make this work. You just wait. We'll make this work. So, anyway, while I paint my face like a clown, and you think, what does this girl know about anything? So, about February last year, I got a rash, and I had experienced some ringworm with some stray cats, and it presented to me like ringworm. It looked the same, so I thought, oh, that's because I went through a lot with ringworm. Because my immune system was so anyway, because my immune system was so compromised, ringworm became like school sores for me. Anyway, this rash I got. The thing about ringworm is that you just need like a little fungal cream, and it's very easy to treat after everything I went through trying to figure out what it was. And I bought the fungal cream. I was in a very stressful job at the time. The fungal cream didn't work, and this rash just would not go away. Long story short, I'm just gonna take a break from that there because I need to make this work in another way. So, long story short, I think this rash, which looked like ringworm, just kept coming every day and it wouldn't go away no matter what I did. So I saw a doctor, by the way, just quickly using the Maybelline 30 Hour. I've only tried this a couple of times and I wasn't a huge fan, so I'm trying it again today, but we're just gonna make the rest of this makeup work because I look like a mess. And I'm not wanting to look like a mess today. I'm wanting to relax and feel good about myself. So anyway, I can't remember who it was, but basically turned out that I was experiencing hives. And, you know, the GP was like, that's okay, just take these antihistamines. They don't tell you to take more than what's on the general box. But that's just a trick. If you ever get chronic hives, you don't just take one Telfast like you would if you had hay fever. You actually have to really up the ante. But nothing helped. Nothing helped. And these hives were relentless. I was itchy all the time. They would keep me up. I really actually do like this foundation, but it's really strong smelling. So if you don't like the smell of chemicals, or it's just it is potent. Anyway, so back to the hives. Look, it's been such a journey. Long story short, went to the doctor. She said to me, my doctor, you can see a dermatologist or you can see an immunologist because nothing was working. Now, as a normal person, you don't know the difference between a dermatologist and an immunologist, and maybe on hindsight I should have researched, but you just don't know what you're dealing with. So you think, oh well, I've got hives, so it must be a skin issue. I'll go see a dermatologist. And my experience with this dermatologist was not great. I can tell you that right now. I think hives are really frustrating for specialists. And, okay, so I just want to show you something quickly. I'm getting really easily distracted, but I'm still quite dark under my eyes, so I'm going to reapply. I'm going to put some more concealer on, but I'm going to do a better job this time because I'd like to have back some brightness. But I like the foundation. So the dermatologist basically said, look, it's chronic hives. It's hard to tell with hives what the actual origin point of hives is, which is frustrating, right? Because if you're allergic to something, you want to stop eating it. If you're using certain powders, you want to stop using them. And he said, ultimately, it probably would have come from some form of infection, would have been like a viral infection or a bacterial infection. He had said, because I'd had this really bad chest infection around the time, that the hives had kicked off from there. I don't know actually how, and I am using my camera to apply my makeup, so, but let me just grab my mirror. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that concealer, to be honest. It's definitely a serum concealer, but I don't like it as much as what everybody else likes it. Having said that, I probably should have corrected I probably should have corrected my under eye. See how... So I'm so dark here. I probably should have corrected. So that concealer's probably got no chance whatsoever to do anything. But it's a nice consistency. I'll try it again and use it properly and let you know what my thoughts are. Because I'm too busy telling you my story and trying to do my makeup at the same time. So he said to me, look, very difficult to figure out what the origin point is for hives. You're just going to have to go through the treatment. And by the time I'd seen this guy, I mean, I'd been through it. I'd fucking been through it. Yeah. So I decided to give him that job. I wanted to bring down my stress levels. I was doing all the things I was doing. I was changing all my, fabrics, not using a lot of like scented products on my body. And I love showers, so that's really depressing for me. I was using CeraVe, or Dermavine. Ugh. Anyway, like great for when your skin's irritated, but not fun if you love a whole shower scenario. I mean, I fully love a shower experience. The scents, the smells, everything. Long story short, he put me on various antihistamines again. Did they work? No. So we go through this process of, well, they're not working. I said to him, I can't keep living like this. I was having a lot of time off work. I'm using the Maybelline, it's not Maybelline, it's Milani. It's the cream bronzer in Cheek Kiss. Oh my God, this is beautiful. This is the first time and it's so creamy. And I like, my lighting's not the best. But I do like the tone on me as well. See, that's lovely. I'm actually gonna just bring some back through. So the next step he said to me was, okay, well, we use this old antidepressant to treat hives. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't like messing with my mental health. So I reached out to my mental health specialist and he thought, no, it should be okay, just monitor it. Anyway, I find that when you go to chemists here in Australia, I don't know what they're like everywhere else, but they're pretty good at telling you what you need to be careful of. So I remember going to this chemist one day with high hopes thinking, oh my God, hopefully this is the answer for me. Hopefully this will work. And the chemist, this young woman, said to me, you need to monitor your moods on this medication because it can have serious mental health side effects. I'm not going to go into too much about that, but I was on those tablets for 14 days. The hives did not go anywhere and my mental health dived, absolutely dived. So I stopped taking those tablets. When I went back to the dermatologist, he gaslit me and said that because the chemist had said that, I had expected the worst and that's what happened. And at that point, I probably realised that he was not the right fit for me. They'd taken a biopsy of the hives. There was nothing serious, like there's no underlying immune issue. Thank God at this stage, there's no long-term immune condition like, I'm just trying to think of a few off the top of my head, like maybe like lupus or Crohn's or anything. I don't know if I'm just pulling those out of my head. I'm just going to put some lip gloss on because my lips are really dry because of the steroids, which we'll get to. I'm doing some Project Pans. I'm trying to use up my Clarins lip. I love this so much. It's so juicy. Look how beautiful my skin looks, by the way. If I'd actually corrected my eyes, I think that concealer would have looked stunning. So anyway, he gaslit me, and at that point, I remember there feeling sick and feeling told off. And he said, well, we're not going to do steroids then because steroids can also impact your mental health. And I thought, okay, well, you just told me that it wasn't my mental health and it was me, and now we're not going to do steroids. And I had asked him at that point, I'd heard a lot about this needle called Xolair, and it's got another name which I'm not going to pronounce on the internet, but Xolair is an immunosuppressant needle that's really effective for treating hives because I'm basically like 8-10 months into chronic hives, and I mean day in, day out. I mean up at night, body on fire, just uncomfortable. It really wears you down. And he basically kept going back and forth about giving me this needle because it turns out that dermatologists can't administer this needle. And I don't know if this is just an Australian thing, but immunologists have to administer the needle because they had a fight over it. The next product I'm using is the Juicy Melon Tinted Lip and Cheek Balm from Essence. I don't like when products say lip and cheek. I'll just typically use them for cheek. And apparently so I was thinking to myself, why can't I get new products but it's still got the plastic over the top? Long story short, immunologist has to give you the needle, but he says, oh, but we're still not going to do that. He kept changing the strategy, and that's when I also realized that this guy's like really busy. He's got lots of patients. He's not really keeping up with my case. I hadn't told him everything that had happened with my mental health because at that point I didn't really. Whoa, this is different. Is this? Sorry, this is so. Let me just show you. And it probably didn't help that I went straight back in with the same, but this is just almost just a glossy. Where's the color? Come on, Essence. Hang on. Let me just put you on hold here. It does smell delicious. Oh, it's just a tinted. Oh, it's just tinted, Misha. You picked up the wrong. Okay. This is probably going to be better. This will probably be better. I'm going to have to clean that. That, I think, is just like not my vibe. So I'm going to give that one a little bit of break. Let me just grab another drugstore. Ooh. I did get the, I've heard a lot about these fat cheeks. Now, it takes me forever to open these products, and I probably should have done that before I jumped on, but I was just kept going back and forwards about whether I was going to do my makeup because I was just relaxing today. But let me get this fat cheeks open. This is from NYX again, because NYX too, like Maybelline, I think, oh God, this is stuck on hard. Our Chemist Warehouse is like our best kind of like drugstore cheap, but they love sticking shit down. So I got the Fat Cheeks, NYX Fat Cheeks, Juicy Plump, and I got mine in the shade Bouncin' Berry because I'm always doing like every other color other than berries. Ooh, she's bright. Oh, that's it. That's what we need today. Anyway, the dermatologist kept changing his mind about the treatment. I really wanted this needle. I just wanted it to be done. And he had said to me, the thing about hives is they'll go when they're ready. Now that's easy to say to someone who doesn't have hives and who hasn't been struggling, who hasn't had a serious decline in their mental health. I had been through it, and I'm not going to tell the internet how far. Oh God, that is beautiful. Look at that. I'm going to put some more on, and it smells lush. I really rate these. Yeah, we're going to be a blushy queen today. So he puts me on 2 other medications. One is a script antihistamine and another treatment that is used for chronic asthma. So I do my due diligence and I Googled the asthma medication because I'm thinking, why do we keep using, stun. Why do we keep using, like there's so many things, I get it. They made medications where it was for one thing and then they realized, oh, it actually helps for this other thing. So I looked up this medication. No, this also had serious mental health contraindications. So I'm like, I ain't going through that because I could have hives or I could be unalived. And yeah, so the hives just were the answer. So I didn't take the medication. I decided at a point, respectfully, dermatologist, thousands of dollars at this point, thousands, and I'm not even exaggerating. The amount of makeup I could have wasted that money on and would have. But anyway, so I don't have any new eyebrow products. So we're going with Maybelline again, the Super Fluff. I love this eyebrow product. So At that point, I'm like, no more dermatologist. A few people had mentioned acupuncture to me at this point. I was willing to try everything. I've seen an acupuncturist for about 5 sessions now, and she has been life-changing. Honestly, I had the most amount of relief with the acupuncturist than I've had through any medical intervention. But unfortunately, last week, I got exceptionally unwell. I mean, the hives had had a break. It was unheard of for me to have a break for 10 days. But when they came back, they came back. And if I was the sort of person that trusted the internet and thought that it was a safe place, I would show you some photos. I'm not good at brows. People on TikTok, I've had some, heat on my eyebrows. I actually don't give a flying fuck because whatever. I just like wearing makeup, so it is what it is. So, anyway, the acupuncture was really helping. Had this huge flare last week, was so sick. And I mean, it was the worst burning hives I've had. They were so bad. And I was bedridden. I just didn't have anything, anybody. More time off work, the anxiety of that. Feeling like people are judging you, UTIs again. UTIs came back, couldn't clear the UTI. This isn't a drugstore product, so I'm just putting on some setting powder, which I don't normally wear, but I got this little sample of the Kosas setting pink powder, and I just wanted to try some. It's actually quite pleasant. I'm using the same brush through this whole... Sorry, I just got a message and I'll throw that away. Anyway, so last week I was so unwell. My throat started to swell up. Occasionally I'd get swelling in my eyes, my lips, but my throat started to swell up. And I felt so poorly at this point. I was like, I got to go to the emergency department. And it's been over a year at this point. I've just suffered long enough. And going to the emergency department is not something that would come naturally to me. Who wants to go to the emergency department where people are genuinely life-threatening and you're going there for chronic hives and UTIs? You feel like a bit of a dick. But I gotta tell you, and I don't want to cry, I gotta tell you, I am so grateful that I went to the emergency department here in Perth. And I'm gonna be open with you. It's Midland Emergency, and I'm actually contemplating sending this doctor and nurses a gift next week, because for the first time in a year and a half, other than my acupuncturist and my psychologist, who always hears me and sees me, I felt so seen and so heard. I just sat there and I told them everything I'd been through, just quickly using the CoverGirl Skin Enhancer Drew Blend in Caramel Truffle. I might have got the wrong colour in this, but I don't mind it, because I'm going to bronze up a bit. They really just listened to everything that I had been through. I told them all the medications I'd tried, every single thing, how about a biopsy. Anyway, about 10 minutes into the consult, because I told her how I don't sleep, and just quickly, because we're going to go with drugstore themed, just quickly, that bronzer is quite glowy, so don't go too, if you're not a huge fan of glowy, don't go too heavy. I'm going to use the NYX Buttermelt in the shade My Butter Half. I really like this colour on me. I felt so seen and heard. They were all women. All women. And she said to me, this doctor, this young, beautiful doctor, oh my God, she was so beautiful. And she'd given me tramadol at this point for the pain. That's how bad the pain was. I'm currently taking tramadol so I can sleep at night. She said to me, Misha, interestingly enough, at Midland Hospital last Thursday, there was an immunologist. There was an immunologist on shift at the hospital. And I just burst out crying. I was just couldn't believe my luck. So she said, look, he's leaving soon. We'll see if he can come and see you. Unfortunately, he couldn't come and see me, but she spoke to him at length on the phone. And on the spot, without even seeing me, after hearing my full story from this emergency doctor, this immunologist, who I will be meeting in a couple of weeks, took me on as a client. So he has changed my medication slightly just with the antihistamines, but the hospital also decided to put me on steroids. Now, I'd gone back to what the dermatologist had said, and I was like, oh, keep an eye on your mental health. But at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I just need a break. Like, when you are constantly itchy, constantly burning, constantly in pain from bladder infections, you just need a literal break, right? Because you're at breaking point. And I started taking the steroids that day, and I've had a couple of days of being hive-free. Now, I know steroids are not going to cure my hives, and likely when I come off the steroids, they're going to come straight back. It's all right, because I have an appointment with a immunologist. They gave me tramadol, which helps me sleep, helps me with the pain. They did a urine test to see where the UTI was at, etc. And it was just a godsend. And I remember this doctor said to me right at the end, she looked at me, because at points during this consultation, they could tell how distressed I was. And they had known how badly this journey had impacted me, including my mental health. Sorry, I'm not doing a good job of telling you. I got this Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24-hour eye stick in a Chemist Warehouse mystery box. And this is the first time I'm using it. It's exceptionally light, but it might be a good way to start with the eyes. So it's very creamy. I like it. So I'm in the hospital like for maybe 7 or 8 hours. I'm released. I start the steroids straight away. I start to feel better. I haven't experienced hives now. Steroids, yes. Do they impact my mental health? Yes. Is it really bad? Not at this stage, no. I don't know if it's the steroids in so much as just the fatigue of constantly dealing with mental health issues, dealing with like chronic health issues. Like, I think eventually you're going to get a bit like, ugh. But I've noticed the last couple of days I have like thoughts like, what's the point? And I'm not saying that I'm like want to unalive myself, but everything just seems like a bit like, ugh, which I'll keep my eye on. I will definitely keep my eye on, because my spirit, I often say this, I have a very happy spirit and a very sad brain. And there's a lot of reasons for that, which we won't get onto, but I most of the time when my mental health is sound, I can keep a very positive, grateful mindset. I actually really like how much that brightened up my eyes. This is my face so far, by the way. I'm actually really liking how it's all come together. So I'm just going to check if I've got any drugstore. Do I have any drugstore eyeshadows? Look how bougie my current eyeshadow collection is. Huda, Mario, and a Korean brand. But I do have a lot of eyeshadow sticks. That's not eyeshadow. I was wondering where that was. I do have this MCO Beauty eyeshadow stick. Look how pretty this is. In this copper. But I don't know if I want to do that colour. Oh, looks like we're doing it anyway. So hard doing your makeup. Like, I can see why professional YouTubers have like camera assistants, and because I'm looking into the camera doing my makeup. Fuck knows what this looks like in real life. It looks good from where I'm at. I'm going to need a mirror for this. So, thank God, it's the Easter long weekend here. Well, would be in most places, I assume. So I've had more time off work, obviously because of the public holidays. Steroids, the taste of steroids, if you've ever had oral steroids, the taste. I forgot to tell you. Before I'd gone to the hospital, I'd met this amazing nurse who's doing microbiome tests for my guts, doing full bloods. I went to this amazing chemist who's got me on lots of lotions and potions and hotions. So I feel like God has just said, okay, we've struggled enough. Like, we're going to bring this all together for you now. And I don't think that eyeshadow stick did fuck all. And I'm going to try a bit more. So I've got a lot of good people on my side. I go back. I'm going to stay on the steroids until Friday. So today is Monday. I'm going to stay on the steroids but at a lower dose until Friday because I need to get back to work this week. Thankfully, oh, that's better. I think you really need to build this up. Thankfully, I've got my long service leave coming up and I've got 2 little trips away to see friends of mine, but I should be able to see the immunologist before then. I'll get this gut test. I'm willing to do anything at this stage. Anything to help my own situation out. Yep. Because no one deserves this. Like, I have thought about the shittiest people I have known, and I wouldn't wish this on a soul. Like, one soul. Like, if you know anyone with chronic illness, chronic mental health, and then throw chronic illness on the top of it, if those people are still getting up every day and surviving, and your load is a lot lighter, can I suggest you should be fucking using whatever energy you have for them, not so much that you take away from yourself, but clap them, do things for them, touch base with them, because it's a hard cross to carry. And I've got a lot of close friends who always say, you're the strongest person I know, but you don't want to be the strongest person, you know? You really don't. Some days I just want to experience a life where I don't have to be strong and independent and look after myself. I really don't. Some days I just want people to come and brush my hair and brush my teeth and, you know, buy me books or read, like, simple things like read me books like I'm a child again. No, I don't even know. My sister could tell us if our parents ever read us books. I doubt it. But so there's hope. There's hope at the end of this tunnel. Okay, we're going to do a recap. I'm just going to put some setting spray on. Did I miss any steps? No. I'm going to put mascara on, but I'm going to put this Catrice Shake and Glow because I've been so dry, because I haven't been doing much. I'm really liking the glow. Look how many new mascaras I have to try out. I'm going to try the Essence Double Do I want Essence? Have I got any other brands in here? You might be sick. Oh, I've got Maybelline. No. Alright, let's just do... Actually, I might... Do you want a brown or a black? I'm going to do black. I'm going to do the Essence Double Trouble. I do like this, and you've seen... If you're on my TikTok, I do like this Mega Lift by... Oh, it's only 32 minutes for this video. That's not bad considering I'm not going to be editing any of it. So, what was I saying? Chaos, right? So, obviously between all of this, I was diagnosed as being on the spectrum. I have ADHD. A few people have mentioned that I might be mildly autistic, whatever. I'm okay with that. It is what it is. Explains a lot. The ADHD medication really has made a huge difference to my mental health. So if I could get these hives, etc., under control, I think I'd be living my best life. I'm also taking Mounjaro, which is the weight loss needle, and that has been amazing for me too. So there's good things happening. But yeah, I actually have to go to Chemist Warehouse today, so I'm loving trying on this makeup so much. I don't think... Oh, God, could Essence ever do anything wrong other than that balm? That's beautiful. Okay, we're going to do a product review, but I'm just going to finish with a couple of thoughts before I do the product review, because some of you come for the makeup and some will be here for the health story. I am investigating all my hormones, etc., because of the age. Could be perimenopause, could be a lot of things. It turns out that I have post-traumatic stress disorder. It's diagnosed. Stress and anger held in the body can come out in many ways, including UTIs and antihistamines. I mean, too many histamines. I will continue to strive to do my counselling to try and process that stuff. But what I realized today was one of my main problems is that I always put other people's needs before mine. And that won't necessarily, for some people who know me and watch this, they might think, well, that doesn't sound like her. But 9 times out of 10, I have learned to have pretty good boundaries with my family and my closest friends over the last couple of years. But I generally just lack boundaries at work. And it's time, like it's really time for me to get better. And it's really time for Misha to be number one. And it's weird talking about yourself like that, but makeup's one of the things I love. And so I've been big on TikTok because it's short form and I'm not good at editing and I don't have great lighting. And I often find that's really hard to find an audience on YouTube. But this is the look for today and I feel great. I'm just going to check what it looks like. Yeah, I do have a bit of mascara, but I'm really happy with how that looks. So my point is, if you're going through a chronic illness or you've got mental health concerns or both, like, I know it can get shit and sometimes you just fucking want to pack it up. Like, just pack it up. But I've learned in life that there's a reason and a timing for everything. And yeah, I feel like my timing is coming and it's probably going to get harder. I don't have any lip products on. I knew there was something missing. So let me just quickly do that and then we'll do a final product review. I did buy and I love it. I didn't know if I would like it, but again, sorry, NYX is just dominating. Like, NYX is just dominating for me. I'm going to take some of that clearance off. I got the NYX Professional Makeup Lip Lingerie in the shade Steamy Spice. And these are the little stones, these cute little doe. I'm taking a big risk doing it like that. I've tried this once already and oh my god, it is stunning. Actually good because it kind of matches that bronzy eyeshadow stick from Mimco. Does the end run out? Yes, and apparently you have to, but that doesn't actually bother me because I'm not good at lining my lips, so I need to just break it up. What lip product? We need to warm that down a bit just because of that. Maybe that. There's this girl at my work. She's gorgeous. She's a young girl and she buys a lot of stuff and then she doesn't like it and she gives it to me and she got these and I would have necessarily not have Revlon Shine in Glaze Mauve. I wouldn't necessarily have got this. I just put my glasses on. Oh my god. My lip line I don't have steady hands. So my precision skills in makeup aren't the best. All right, let's just pat this down. All right, the end of this video got really chaotic. Concentrate. So, final thoughts. Just keep going. If you can, just keep going. I don't judge anyone for anything about how they manage anything because we're all just on the journey and whatever your journey is, you do whatever works for you, ultimately. Let's wrap up the products. Things that I have tried today. So I've decided this year if I don't love something, it's going to go and it's going to go to a better home. So far, let's start. I don't think I would repurchase this foundation by Maybelline. It stinks. It says it's matte. It's Lumi Matte, sorry. It just doesn't impress me. And I have got other drugstore like the e.l.f. If you're going to drugstore this year, you need to get this e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. It is stunning. I'm glad I tried this. My friend was saying the new Maybelline's good, but I've got too many. So I'm going to keep it and use it up, but I would suggest the e.l.f. And even in terms of drugstore, on TikTok, I tested out this Essence Soft Touch Mousse. This is gorgeous too. And this is like $4. This is like $20 and you can get this on sale at some point. The Maybelline, I can't remember. Now, let's talk about the primer. Yep, nothing wrong with this primer. Happy with this Maybelline primer. So that's going to go back into my collection. Put those away before it gets too messy. What else have we got? We've got the Bare With Me concealer. I don't know if this is for me because I have been loving the Revlon Illuminate, Brighten and Hydrate concealer, and my Ride or Die concealer from the drugstore is, surprise, surprise, the Maybelline Fit Me. That is beautiful. So I will use it, but it's not gonna, I don't think it'll become a holy grail. Oh my God, I was meant to try this out today and this would have been perfect. I got the Catrice Under Eye Brightener. Oh, well, we can try that in another video. I might have got a shade too dark, but it was the only one that was left. So I was like, oh, I got it. So we got that to try in another video. I'm gonna put this away. Oh, okay, let's talk about the Milani bronzer. Yep, I'm so glad I got this. So glad. This one though, this is literal, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to watch. I said I don't like to use it, but I'm not using this on my cheeks. It's just literally just glossy. Look. It's actually quite beautiful on my lips though, isn't it? Okay. This is going to be a keep, but just for the lips. But I hate the fact that you dip your finger, and I've already stuck a fucking foundation brush in there. So I'm going to get, just quickly before I forget, I'm going to get one of my if you've made it to this part of the video, like put a little like praying hands emoji because you've done well. Oh, see, but look on here, it comes off pink. So it must stain over time. Maybe I didn't give it long enough. All right. I've sanitized that. I'm going to try that again on my cheeks. These can go away. Right. Love my fluff. Super fluff. Such a cute title. Such a cute name. I'm going to keep that. I didn't really... Should we do some more of this Kosas? But now this isn't drugstore. Look at how pink this is. I mean, just might dash some more of this on because I am quite glowy and it's pink, so it's not gonna... I really like that. It's quite light. I'm not a fan of heavy powder because I'm naturally quite dry and because I'm older. Like, you can't have too much heavy powder. Like, it just looks ridiculous. I do not like this MCO Beauty eyeshadow stick, so I'm going to sanitize that. It just, I don't know, I just think you would probably have to work too hard for that color payout. I might give it one more shot. I do like this. I probably should have got this in a different shade. I love these. Like, you cannot go wrong with this Buttermelt range in NYX. Like, I've got the bronzer, I've got the blush. It's so pigmented, it's beautiful. I don't know why I bought that out because that's high end. I bought out a Patrick Tar. The best thing I absolutely am going to influence you all to buy is this Milani bronzer. And if you're going to buy two things this week from your drugstore, you care if you want the Milani bronzer and the Fat Cheeks. Stunning. Like, I can't believe I didn't get more of these sooner. I saw them and I was like, oh, look, just look, look. This would be my #1 ranked product in this video. And then I do like this Double Trouble. I'm not, like, I don't need big eyelashes. It's just not part of my makeup journey. I do like this eyeshadow. It's very light, so obviously I would use it. I love the NYX lip lingerie. If you need one of those, that doesn't belong there. And Catrice, like, happy with this setting spray. I probably Catrice is really hard to get here in Australia, so I have found a company where you can get it online. So I'm just putting things away as I go because I'm in one of those moods where I need like my environment organized because everything's been so tough. I don't know if you like that, and I do really like this Revlon lipstick. I find sometimes with Revlon, maybe sometimes in L'Oreal, sometimes their products are too heavily like perfumed or fragrance, but this one is really light. It doesn't last a long time because it's just a really gentle kind of sort of soft formula, but it is stunning. So this is what I look like, and if you go back to the beginning of the video, you'll be like, yeah, she looks better. My under eyes are still quite dark, so but don't judge any of the products for that, because remember, your girl's been unwell and I've always been very dark under my eyes ever since I was a kid. So that is the chaos, the spectrum video for today. If you made it this far, put us some praying hands. Wow, good for you. Come find me over on TikTok. It's the same title of the channel. I just bring all the random men to the yard over on TikTok. I don't know how that works. I never experienced anything like it, but it gives my sister lots of things to laugh about. So that's where I've been. That's what I've been going through. If you've gone through anything similar and you've made it to this point, please share your comments, anything that helped you. I don't need tips and tricks. Like, I think the problem is we also feel like we have to fix things for people. I just want to hear what you've been going through and your wins and your struggles, and I'm glad I finally got to do this video with you all. See ya, bye.